Hey guys, this is Melody, and today I am painting this giant canvas. It is 3 foot by 4 foot, so it's quite large. And ignore the trash in the corner. I had put that there, and then this was actually right before I was going to go to bed, so I took it out the next day. Anyway, like I was saying, this was right before I went to bed, but I knew that this paint would take forever to dry, so it took me, I think, 20 minutes to put down the first base coat. And I let it dry overnight so that the next morning I could do the second coat here, because I figured there would be some splotchy bits where you could see the canvas through, and I was right. I think just with the 2 coats over the entire canvas used up I think 2 full bottles of paint, which is quite a lot. They're about $10 a piece. So this piece was made for my mom. It was a commission. And I've talked about it on some vlogs if you guys watch those. I think I may have mentioned it on 1 or 2 art videos as well, but I haven't been able to post it until now because she commissioned it as a gift for my stepdad for his black belt test so that she could have a gift to give him. So she wanted to have some huge piece to hang up in their dining room, and she wanted it to be kind of like modern-ish, so I came up with some sort of pattern. I did a little sketch, she liked it, and then she had the idea of doing like a stencil of a guy kicking, like a taekwondo thing, so then it turned into a gift for my stepdad. So what I'm doing here is kind of trying to draw out the stencil. She sent me a picture of kind of what she was thinking, so I was going based off of that, but I had to make a few adjustments. Like the pants were really short for some reason. So originally I cut them out kind of short like in the picture, and then I ended up cutting out more paper and taping it on to fix it so it looked a little bit more normal. Also, you'll notice that my clothes change a lot in this video just because it did take multiple days. I think I managed to finish it within the span of a week or 2 just because I spent a little bit of time on it every day because the paint took so long to dry because it is such a large canvas. Smaller pieces, the paint dries a lot faster. I think part of it is also you don't have to layer as much always, but this was a multi-layered piece for sure because I had to do 2 base coats, and then I put the stencil down, and then I did the actual pattern, and then I had to let that dry. So it's just like, it was a process. So I tried to work on it a little bit every night for a while until I managed to actually finish it. Also, please excuse my voice. I am slightly congested while I'm filming this. I'm getting over some sort of cold, and now I have this annoying lingering cough. So yeah, I haven't been sleeping well. Anyway, that's beside the point. So what I did with this was, once the paint on the canvas was completely dry, I put tape on this guy, and it took forever because I did it all around the edges. And I mostly used washi tape because I could, like, I'm sure I have Scotch tape, like painter's tape somewhere, but I could not find it. But I also figured the washi tape peels off easier, and I didn't want to ruin the black paint that was underneath. But I guess it didn't really matter that much because I ended up touching it up in the end. Anyway, so then I just stuck him on. Like I said, it was kind of just like a stencil sort of situation, so I wanted to make sure he was stuck on there as well as possible because I didn't want to get paint underneath him. I mean, I did a little bit in some spots and I ended up touching it up, but I wanted to avoid that as much as possible. So after that, I needed to mix all of my paints, and that took a while. Fortunately, I had actually bought these plastic cups at Michael's. They were only $1 a piece, so I figure even if I ruin them, I don't really care. I'll toss them out. They do actually do pretty well holding onto this paint. I didn't end up using all of this orangey color in the painting, so I've actually been using it in some of my other paintings as a base for skin tones, because if you use that and then add white, you can get it a lot lighter. I mean, you can use that as a skin tone as well, but it is quite dark, just depending on what you're going for. So then I wanted to make a gray color, and at this point I was running out of my black, and I think I did end up having to go back to the store to buy more black so that I could do the touch-ups. So here I was kind of trying to use the method that I had used before. The thing is, when I did it before, I worked while the black paint was still dry, but my mom wanted the colors to be lighter and not as dark. So it didn't turn out exactly like the little test piece that I had done, but she did want it lighter, and it, you know, it did do that. So I basically just went in with all the colors, and it's just about going in with brush stroke after brush stroke and trying not to completely meld all the colors together. While you do kind of want the colors to mix, you still want to be able to see the individual colors. So obviously between here and the last one, I added some blue and a little bit of black. I was trying not to make this video too long and include everything. So then I took the stencil off while it was still wet, which I wasn't sure if I should do or not, because I was scared I was going to smear some of the paint on the body. But I was scared that if I let it dry on there, that the dry paint would kind of make the paper stick, and I didn't want to have that issue of trying to peel it up from the canvas. So then I went in, because the paint on the top I think was still dry, I went in with that orange color and did the edges because I wanted to clean them up a little bit. I think I had originally painted the edges black, but then when I was, excuse me, when I was doing the top, it kind of got messy on the edges. Obviously they didn't stay completely black, so I figured I would go around with this orange color just to clean it up a bit. And here, like I was mentioning, I went in and touched up the guy with black paint. Part of this was to get the outline back to where it was before. Like on his face, I think his nose, some of the paint got under, so his nose was really tiny, and just kind of like fix up the little things that happened. So I ended up painting over the entire thing again, just so that it looked more cohesive and you didn't get weird brush strokes. But I think it turned out okay. And that's about it, guys. If you'd like to see any more large paintings, let me know. It was a little bit of a pain just because it took up so much space in my studio apartment, so I couldn't walk around that much. But it was a lot of fun to do, and it was good incentive to finish it quickly. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe as usual. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.